All I have in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. You understand?
Promises are currency, and trust is a dying art. You know that guy who is objectively great, smart, charismatic, funny. But if he ever asked to do business with you, your initial reaction would be to recoil. You know deep down, you could never trust him in business or around your woman. You don't trust him or his word. And because of that alone, he has no power or influence. Here's how to avoid being that guy. Part 1. Your word is a weapon. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. Your word is your leverage, your currency. Each time you break your word, you give away a piece of your power. You become small, forgettable, and replaceable. But the person who speaks with intention and follows through becomes rare. And what's rare becomes respected, feared, even revered. Keeping your word isn't just a sign of integrity. It's a display of discipline, control, of something primal. Because true power is control over outcomes. And if you can't control your own words, how can you be trusted to control anything else? The person who speaks less but delivers more, who makes few promises but fulfills all of them, becomes a force. Your word is a weapon, and every time you open your mouth, you're pulling the trigger. The question is, are you shooting blanks or bullets? Part 2. Power is built on perception. Power doesn't exist in your physique. It's not about how built you are. Power lives in people's perception of you, and perception is shaped by consistency. If people know that when you speak, you follow through, they begin to believe in you. When they believe in you, they rely on you. And when they rely on you, you control the room without even raising your voice. And in leadership, Abraham Lincoln knew this. Reputation is like fine china. Once broken, it's very hard to repair. Part 3. Kings, CEOs, and the cost of a broken word. It's no coincidence that figures like Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King Jr., and Nelson Mandela all carried immense weight with their words. They didn't speak to impress. They spoke to act. And when they made promises, those promises moved nations. Let's take a look at Steve Jobs. He didn't speak much to the press, but when he made announcements, people listened. Why? Because he delivered. Not always on time, not always perfectly, but with such conviction and consistency that his word became gospel in tech. Even Elon Musk, controversial as he is, garners attention because he moves in alignment with his stated vision. He commits publicly, and whether or not he stumbles, he moves. The world believes him not because he never fails, but because he follows through. Part 4. The trap of being too honest. Now let's be clear. Honesty doesn't mean vulnerability. Robert Greene teaches in the 48 Laws of Power that honesty can be weaponized. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. When used sparingly and strategically, your word can become your most potent asset. But remember, if you use honesty to gain trust, you must never betray it. Once your word becomes inconsistent, you're no longer feared. You're dismissed. Part 5. When to break your word and remain powerful. When you break your word, you fracture the perception of you. People no longer see you as a constant. The paradox is that there are moments when keeping your word would mean betraying yourself, when the cost of your promise outweighs its worth. Barack Obama said, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice." Sometimes justice means reevaluating old vows, And in those moments, don't speak louder, just speak clearly. Power doesn't require rigidity, it requires discernment. Part 6. Psychological control through consistency. Psychologists call it the consistency bias. Our brain wants people to stay consistent with what they've said or done. So when you keep your word consistently, people begin to shape their behavior around your reliability. They lower their guard, seek your approval, and trust your presence. And just like that, you gain quiet psychological control. It's not domination, it's influence. It's the highest form of power. Speak less and mean more. In a world of manipulation, let your integrity be your power.